Hey guys, it's about beer 30. Let's go see what's in the fridge today. Hello everybody, welcome to Gregsbeerreviews. Today, I certainly appreciate it. Let me tell you, I do appreciate you stopping by. Today's beer comes from Flying Dog Brewery. This is their Gonzo. It's an Imperial Porter. Guys, I've done this beer 9 years ago, and they was putting them in a little teeny bottle then. Now they're putting them in a 12-ounce bottle. This is a 10%, and on the back of the label here it says Vintage 20. So I'm assuming that's 2020. So it's a 2020 edition here, and I'd like to see a little bit more information as far as the month. I mean, the day may be good. It doesn't really critical on this style of beer being a 10% Imperial Porter, but I'd like to know whether it was done in first of the year, middle of the year, end of the year, and they're not giving us that information. I don't see anything that's written on the label or the bottle as far as any kind of stamping, but at least they are telling us the 2020 edition. And they do some crazy artwork on Flying Dog beers, guys. I haven't bought a lot of their beers recently because they never were that impressive to me, but I got this at the craft beer store when I was over there the last time, and I was looking for some stouts and porters. Here we are in October, and the Kroger's doesn't have anything other than 5%. So I'm looking for an Imperial version of those beers, because they're usually the final beer of the evening for me, which this is. And I don't want a 5% beer for the final beer of the evening. I want something I want an Imperial, 8% or bigger for the final beer. And that's just me. It's just my preference, because I can only have a couple a day, 2 or 3 a day. So I don't want to drink a 5% for the final beer, especially when I've had a 7 or an 8% before this. I don't want to drop back to a 5%. That's just me. But that's just because I'm an old man and I got a heart condition and I can only have a couple of days. So that's just me. You young bucks, you can drink whatever you want to, whenever you want. You want to start off with this 5% beer and whatever. I mean, it's all personal preference and what you want to drink, what you're allowed to drink, and all that kind of stuff. Availability and all that comes into consideration. And I get a lot more beer sent to me that are in the pales and IPAs and double IPAs, and I get stouts because they're usually more expensive. And I understand that. So a lot of times I have to supplement, like I am today with this one. I actually went and bought this just to have something different that I haven't done in a while or hadn't done before. So I have done this one, but like I said, it was in a lot smaller bottle then, or they're in a bigger bottle, which is good for me. I don't like those little teeny 6-7 ounce bottles. You're paying more for as much for the packaging as you are for the beer that's inside of them. But anyway, these guys are out of Maryland, Flying Dog, and they do make a lot of different stuff, and they have. I'm glad to see they've gone away from those little teeny bottles. Most of the breweries have. A lot of the European breweries are still putting small cans, like 330 milliliter cans and stuff, but a lot of the American breweries have gone to 12 ounce cans or 16 ounce cans. Some of them even doing 19.2 ounce cans, and a lot of the 22 ounce bombers and the 750s have dropped down to the 12 ounce bottles to make it more affordable and all that kind of stuff. So, which is good. If you want to drink it all yourself, you don't have somebody to share it with. You don't want to drink a 750 milliliter bottle by yourself. Usually, now some people do. I mean, you drink that whole bottle, you're gonna get a buzz going on, no doubt. Especially if it's a 10, 11, 12%er. But anyway, it gives you more beer for your buck. So that's where we're gonna leave it. Over to Untapped. They say it's 85 IBUs, 10%. They're not, I didn't see it differentiate between the years, so evidently they're keeping the recipe and the ABV pretty consistent batch after batch or year after year. It says Gonzo is big, bold, and beautiful like the man that was brewed in honor of Dr. Hunter S. Thompson. Flavor notes roasted chocolate, coffee, and vanilla malt flavors balanced with a unique hot bite. Pairs with mushrooms, smoked meats, barbecue, and chili, hard cheese, chocolate, and coffee desserts. And they have a little quote here from Hunter S. Thompson. It says, "It never got weird enough for me." Really? There's a lot of weird things that going on in this world, but maybe not. I don't know. Anyway, we got the ABV, we got the IBUs, and they tell us the 2020 vintage. So is what it is. So let's get it open and get it into the glass. Nice little hiss, a little bit of smoke. Here we go. 10%er, we're going to go down the middle here unless it starts producing a monster head. It seems to be decently carbonated, but not overly carbonated. Little swirl, swirl. That increased the head factor quite a bit, but we're going to get it all in there on the initial pour here. Very nice. Very, very nice. About 2 fingers of head on that pour. Nice tight bubbles around here. A little bit bigger bubbles from that aggressive pour. And some bigger bubbles here, but it's nice and creamier around the outside of the top. Good looking beer. Nice and black. It looks a lot more like a stout than a porter. I'm not getting any red ruby tinges around the thin part of the glass down here. Good looking beer. What do you think? Looks good to me. Let's get it to the nose. Yep, very nice. Very rich roasted malt. It's got a little bit of a sweetness to it. I don't think any lactose has been used in the brewing process. Very subtle hints of some coffee notes. Maybe a little bit of chocolate notes in there. Maybe we'll even get some coffee notes after it warms up to room temperature, so let's dive in and see what we got. Cheers, everybody. It's a good smelling beer. It's a decent beer. I mean, it's not world class or outstanding or anything like that. But if you want to kick it up a notch, yeah, I'll tell you the guys all the time. Throw you a little bit of bourbon in there. Put you a capful. Put you a jigger in there. Put whatever you want in there. If you want to kick it up a notch or a 12, just keep pouring that in there and you'll have a bourbon barrel version of this. And that's probably what I'm going to end up having to do because we've searched and searched and all I'm finding right now available to me, unless I go across town to the craft beer store and buy stuff like this, is like 5 and 6% stouts. That's the only thing, and I'm just not a big fan of those low ABV stouts. So I'm gonna end up getting some of those stouts, and I'm gonna kick them up a notch or 12. Throw a little bourbon in them, and there you go. That's going to increase the ABV. It's going to increase the taste factor. I mean, if it's not to your liking, especially in this style of beer or a porter or a stout, and you'd like a bourbon barrel version of it, make it yourself. Throw a little bourbon in it. There you go. And that's what I'm going to probably end up having to do till something else shows up. You would think by the middle of October the stouts would be out already, and they're not. They're just the low ABV stuff. I'm not interested in that. Don't want it. I don't. I tell you, I don't like it. I don't like a low ABV stout or a porter. I want something impressive. Tell me you got an 8, 9, 10, 11, 12%. I don't want anything bigger than a 12%. But I would like to see something imperial as far as a stout goes. Give me some nice, thick, creamy, full-bodied, not something super thin, watery crap. I don't want that. 10, 12 years ago, that'd have been fine. Now, not so much. Give me a man's beer. I don't want no boys beer. Yeah, that's what I said. Alright guys, it's right out of the fridge. Let me sip on it for a little bit. And I'll be right back. Alright guys, I'm back. Been sipping on it for a while now. Tasty beer. I mean, like I said, if you want to kick it up a notch, put you a little bit of bourbon in there and you got a nice bourbon barrel version of it. I'm probably going to be doing that with the stouts I had to pick up today, or my other half picked up today, which were like 5.5 to 6.2 percenters. I'm not going to re-review any of those. I'm just going to have those for the final beer of the evening. I'm going to kick them up a notch. I'm going to throw a little bourbon in them, and won't be re-reviewing them, but I want something with a little bit more taste than what I'm getting from a 5 or a 6% stout or a porter. This is a 10 percenter. It's got a nice body to it, but adding a little bourbon to this would definitely make it more tasty to me and to the other half too. So I enjoyed this beer. It's a very tasty beer. It's a well-made beer, and they are putting the vintage on it, not a month day or they're putting a year, but not the month or day. So I don't know if they did it in January, July, or September. I don't know when they put it in the bottle. So very nice, very pleasant. Final chug. Nice roasted malt. Little bit of bittersweet chocolate, not much. Not a lot of coffee. Very subtle if it's there at all. Decent beer. It's a well-made beer. Glad I could, and like I said, I had to go across town to even pick it up because Kroger's and a little gas station beer store doesn't carry these beers. You have to go to a craft beer store around here anyway to pick them up. So I do like a 10% porter or stout for the final beer of the evening, which this is for me. So very tasty beer, guys. As far as I'm concerned, A-. I'm going to give it a 90. Over to Beer Advocate, they say it's a 90. We're in agreement for a change. But they've been producing this beer for a long time, and it seems like it's been pretty consistent as far as the ABV from batch to batch or year to year. Tasty. And the last time I had this back in 2011, it was in one of those little small bottles, which I was not at all impressed with. I'm glad they went to the 12-ounce bottle instead of that little 5 or 6-ounce bottle they were putting it in back then. So you get your money's worth there, guys, instead of just a taste of it. And over to Untapped, they have it at 3.81. That's in their B plus range. I think it's a little bit better than that. I'm more in agreement with Beer Advocate on this particular one, which I'm usually not. I think the Beer Advocate ratings are a little more accurate usually, but I think this is worthy of the A- scale, and that's where I'm going to put it because it has the ABV and the vintage on the label, and it's a 12-ounce bottle, and it's a 10%. The alcohol is well hidden, and like I said, you could always kick it up a notch if you're not impressed with what you've got. Throw you a little bourbon in it, and there you go, or throw you a lot of bourbon in it, and there you go. Especially if you're at home drinking it and you're not driving. Drink responsibly, guys. Don't think you can drink 1 or 2 or 3 of these and drive somewhere. It's a 10% beer. Alcohol is well hidden. You don't realize you're drinking a beer of that magnitude. So please drink responsibly. Don't think you're macho man. You can go out and I'm going to drink 2, 3, 4 of these and I'm okay. I'm going to drive. Stupid. Don't do it. Please. Drink it at home if you're going to drink more than one of these. Don't want you to get hurt or hurt any innocent people, guys. With that being said, if you've had Gonzo Imperial Stout from Flying Dog Brewery, this is the 2020 edition. Let me know what you think. Till we meet again, let's go see what's in the fridge.